department shall make a report in writing to the building inspector official of all buildings or structure which may or are suspected to be dangerous buildings. Such reports must be delivered to the building official by the next business day of the building inspector, but in no event later than 72 hours from the date of discovery of such buildings by an employee by the arresting officer, of the police department. Section 54-13, duties of city attorney is to authorize to prosecute all persons appointing acts or acts deemed unlawful. Under section 54-14 of this article, appear at all hearing before the city council authorized by this article for the city to collect all municipal liens, assessments, expenditures, costs incurred by the city for repairing, causing may be vacated, removed, or demolished any building structure, part of building structure, party wall, or foundation of this article. Take other such legal actions necessary to clear out the terms of provision of this article. Section 54-14, enforcement of penalties. It shall be unlawful for any person or any agent, servant, or employee of any such person to fail to comply with an order or notice given pursuant to this article. It shall be unlawful for any person or any agent, servant, or employee of such person to fail or refuse to perform any duty imposed by this article. It shall be unlawful for any person or any agent, servant, employee of such person to obstruct or interfere with any appropriate municipal official in carrying out the purposes of this article. It shall be unlawful for any person or for any agent, servant, or employee of such person to obstruct or interfere with a repair, move, or demolition ordered pursuant to this article by remaining of the premises or in such proximity to the premises and at such time and location where the work cannot be accomplished without endangering the life, health, safety, or general welfare of himself or another person. It shall be unlawful for any person or any agent, servant, or employee of such person to mutilate, destroy, tamper with, or remove a notice posted pursuant to section 54.5B2 or section 54.10A. It shall be unlawful for any person, including an occupant or leasing in possession, to fail to comply with any notice to vacate pursuant to this article. It shall be unlawful for any person to enter, assess, or be a building structure, or part of building or structure, part of wall or foundation, the appropriate municipal official has ordered to be vacated, and that is subject of a notice pursuant to section 54.5 or a declaration pursuant to section 54.10, except for the purposes of demolition of the same, of moving the same, or making the required repairs. H, it shall be unlawful for any person who has received a notice pursuant to section 54.5 or a declaration pursuant to section 54.10 to sell, transfer, mortgage, lease, income, or otherwise dispose of such building or structure, part of building or structure, part of wall or foundation that is subject to notice to another such person. Shall first furnish the grantee, transferee, mortgagee, or leasee a true copy of the notice served pursuant to section 54.5 or the declaration served pursuant to section 54-10, and shall furnish to the city building inspector official a signed and notarized statement from the grantee to transferee, mortgagee, or leasee, acknowledging the receipt of the notice served pursuant to section 54.5 or the declaration served pursuant to section 54.10, and fully accepting the responsibility without condition for making the corrections or repairs required by such notice served pursuant to section 54.15 or 54.10. A violation of this section shall be punishable by a fine not to exceed a sum of $500 for each offense, and if a willful violation, by imprisonment not to exceed 6 months or both, at the discretion of court trying the same. Each day shall constitute a separate offense. The penalties and remedies provided in this article shall not apply to the city or any official elected or appointed agent, officer, or employee of the city who is administering this article or otherwise performing his or her official duties. Civil remedies. The continued or recurrent performance of any acts or acts deemed unlawful under section 54.14 of this article is hereby declared to be detrimental to the health, safety, comfort, and convenience of the public and is a nuisance. The city, as a additional or alternative remedy, may institute injunctive proceedings in a court of competent jurisdiction to abate the same or to proceed as otherwise authorized under law to address nuisances. Section 54.16, no effect on immunities. This article is adopted only to provide a service for the public as a whole. It is not for the benefit of any individual person or entity. By the adoption of this article, the city and its agents, officers, and employees accept no duty for the benefit intended or unintended of any person, including but not limited to any owner, mortgagee, lien holder, landlord, tenant, occupant, roomer, invitee of any type, trespasser, or any of their agents, officers, or employees. Any duty alleged to arise in this article on the part of the city or any agents, officers, or employees for the benefit of any person is expressly rejected. The city and its agents, officers, and employees hereby expressly reserve all applicable immunities existing under any doctrine, authority, or law, whether under common law, statute, or otherwise, including but not limited to substantive immunity, qualified immunity, and discretionary function immunity, save for the powers and remedies that this article gives to the city, to the agents, officers, and employees who are administering this article, otherwise performing it, his or her official duties. This article does not create any private cause of action for the benefit of any person. 54-7 cumulative effect. This article is cumulative in nature and is in addition to any power and authority the city may have under any other law. Section 2, the adoption of this ordinance shall not in any manner affect the prosecution of any act illegally done contrary to the provisions of any ordinance now or hereafter, or heretofore, in existence. And every such prosecution, whether begun before or after the enactment of this ordinance, shall be governed by the law under which the offense was committed. Nor shall a prosecution or the right to prosecute for the recovery of any penalty of enforcement, any forfeiture, or lien be in any manner affected by the adoption of this ordinance. Nor shall any civil action or cause of action existing prior to or at the time of adoption of this ordinance be affected in any manner by this adoption. Section 3, this ordinance shall become effective upon its adoption as provided by law. Section 4, the provision of this article shall be included in and incorporated in the Code of Ordinances of the City of Wetumpka, Alabama, as an addition or amendment thereto, and shall be appropriately renumbered to conform to the uniform numbering system of the code. Section 5, the sections and paragraphs, sentences, clauses, and phrases of this ordinance are severable, and if any phrase, clause, sentence, paragraph, or section of this ordinance shall be declared unconstitutional by a court of competent jurisdiction, then such ruling shall not affect any other paragraph and section since the same will have been enacted by the City Council without the incorporation of any such unconstitutional phrase, clause, sentence, paragraph, or action. Section 6, any formal ordinance conflicting with the provisions of this article is hereby repealed, including the adoption of section 11-53A of the Code of Alabama 1975 under ordinance 2009-02 as codified in section 18-9-1 of the Code of Alabama. Done.
Knife out, I started just going to cut myself. Okay, have another ordinance. And this also would be a first reading to declare as surplus and partially land.
Be it ordained by the council of the city of Wetumpka as follows. Whereas the city of Wetumpka is the owner of approximately 1.45 acres of real property located on River Road in the city of Wetumpka, Alabama, which is more particularly described on the Exhibit A, which is attached. Whereas this property was formerly owned and used by the Waterworks and Sewer Board of the city of Wetumpka, but was declared obsolete by the board and reconveyed to the city on February 1st, 2013. Whereas the city of Wetumpka is not presently using said property and does not have any immediate need for the use of this property. Whereas the council of the city of Wetumpka has determined that the property is not needed for municipal purposes and that hereby declares it surplus. And whereas the council of the city of Wetumpka desires for this property to be developed into a manner that would benefit the city and its citizens. And whereas William R. Drinkard, owner of a parcel of property described as original lot 206, East Wetumpka, that's a east 30-foot strip which is located on the east side of the Coosa River adjacent to the city's old jail and the Riverwalk, which is more particularly described on Exhibit B attached here too. Whereas the city would like to acquire the property from Mr. Drinkard due to its location and incorporate it into the city's downtown redevelopment plan. Now therefore be resolved by the council of the city of Wetumpka that said property as described on Exhibit A is not needed for municipal or public purposes, and the public interest shall be approved by its transfer in accordance to the following conditions. Section 1. The city has determined that an exchange of the city property identified on Exhibit A for the parcel of land described on Exhibit B is in the best interest of the city. Section 2. Based upon a letter of opinion by David Bowen, Alabama General Real Property Appraisal, the council knowledge of properties involved, the city council has determined that both properties are approximately the same value. Section 3. Parcel A shall be conveyed by statutory warranty deed free of encumbrances, as is where it is, without warranty as to condition or utility, including accepting the same as is regarding environmental matters. Section 4. The mayor and the city clerk shall be and hereby are authorized and directed to execute and attest respectively for and on behalf of the city of Wetumpka, statutory warranty deed conveying the premises